Now, friends, with this, I would like to say that your university, to provide equality of opportunity to all the citizens of the country, it is essential to make available quality education to all the section of the society. In this respect, SRM University can make special provision so that at least 10% of the total seats are provided to the students of the economically weaker section coming from the rural background. This will be one of the, already I saw SRM College is providing number of scholarships, large number of scholarships, but this is one of the suggestions. In conclusion, friends, since I am the midst of faculty members and student of SRM University, I thought of sharing with you an incident. Since I hope you have got a research environment, you have got a teaching environment, because both in a university is essential. How do you push the research environment? How do you give the push to the research environment? How do you nurture the research environment? So I am thought of sharing with you an incident about Sir C. Raman, a Nobel laureate in physics for discovering Raman effect. You know about what is Raman effect. I am not going to talk to you. But Raman was in the Sir C. Raman was in the first batch of Bharat Ratna award winners. The award ceremony was to take place in the last week of January, soon after the Republic Day celebration of 1954. Then the President, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, wrote to Raman, Nobel laureate Raman, to invite him to be the personal guest in Rashtrapati Bhavan when Raman came to Delhi for the award ceremony. Sir C.V. Raman wrote a polite letter. Hear me carefully. Sir C.V. Raman wrote a polite letter regretting his inability to go. Raman had a noble reason for his inability to attend the investiture ceremony. He explained to the President that Raman was guiding a PhD student and the thesis was positively due by the last day of January. Raman says the student was valiantly trying to wrap it all up. Raman felt he had to be by the side of the research student, see that the thesis was finished, sign the thesis as the guide, then have it submitted. Here was a scientist who gave the pomp and guillotine ceremony associated with the highest honor because he felt that his duty required him to be by the side of the student. It is this unique trait of giving value to science, nurturing the science, that builds science. For that matter, any field of research and education, not only science, any field of education and research. Hence, it is indeed a great message for physics Nobel laureate of our country to the youth and faculty members of our academic and educational institutions. Friends, now I have some questions you have asked me. I have got oath. Which one prefer, oath or questions? Which one? Oath you want to have? 7-point oath? Yes? Yes, okay. Now the 7-point oath goes like this. And the first one, I realize I have to set a goal in my life. To achieve the goal, I will acquire the knowledge and work hard. When the problem occurs, I have to defeat the problem and succeed. Will you do it? As a youth of my nation, I will work with courage to achieve success in all my tasks and enjoy success of others. Enjoy success of others. Wear it out. If you guys do, then you have become a enlightened citizens. Next one, I shall always keep myself, my home, my surroundings, neighborhood and environment clean and tidy. Next, fifth, I will lead and these were all, including the faculty members. Faculty members, all the dignitaries who are assembled here. I will lead an honest life, free from all corruption, and will set an example for others, including my home, to adapt your righteous way of life. Will you do it? I will light the lamp of knowledge in the nation and ensure that it remains lit forever. I realize whatever work I do, if I do the best, I am contributing towards realizing the vision of developed India before 2020. Friends, may my best wishes to all the students and faculty members assembled here for success in all your educational mission. Friends, I can take a few questions because I have to catch my flight. Okay. Now, there is Anup Menon. Where are you, Anup Menon? Where are you, Anup Menon? Mike, do you have a mic? Shout. 90 questions has come, so I am putting in my mail. That is, you see my website www.abdulkalam.com. Okay, you will get all the answers in 2 or 3 days. Few questions, 2 or 3 questions I am going to answer. Yes, Anup Menon, shoot your question.
Sir, how realistic is the idea that India becomes a superpower by 2020?
Well, Menon is like this. Superpower is not a important point here. What is important is that India should be economically developed nation. Okay, 220 million people are below poverty line. How do you lift them up? Say before 2020. That's what I described in my talk also. So our concentration should be that remove the poverty from 220 million people. And the thin line, that is rural area, 600, so nearly 70% of people live in the rural area, and they too should have prosperity. That is through Pura. Through Pura prosperity we have to take to the rural area, and also 220 million people lift them economically sound. That means we are looking for before 20 a prosperous, happy and safe India. Okay, next question. Firoz Afzal. Firoz Afzal. Where are you, Firoz? Where are you? Lift your hand. Firoz Afzal. Yes.
First of all, I would like to thank the Honorable Chief Guest for paying his visit over here.
Yes, sir.
My question is that, sir, what are your views regarding scope of nuclear energy in India, and do you think it will compensate the huge demand for the electricity in the country?
You know, it is like this. We are producing at the moment 130,000 megawatt power. India produces combination of thermal power, hydroelectric power and other powers like nuclear power, all put together. We are generating 130,000 megawatt power. By 2020, and we need nearly 350 to 400,000 megawatt power. That means our energy production, we have to depend on hydroelectric power, some nuclear, and thermal power. Of course, it's playing a very important role. But we are going to have a problem of the CO2 environmental problem. So we should put the clean energy, nuclear power. Then you have solar power, and then biofuel.